Yeah.
I was with it. I'm just upset my computer is acting a donkey.
Anybody
acting a donkey?
Will anybody see Star Wars this weekend? Anybody?
No.
B. Murray's going tonight.
You going to the first showing, the 7 o'clock 3D spectacular with laser light show?
Yep, 10:35 3D at Oak Ridge Mall.
Wow.
You,
See you there.
you waiting
That
in
is
line?
brave. Are you ready to be packed in there with everybody else?
I'm just looking forward to some costumes and some characters.
Oh my gosh.
He's just happy to be here.
That's going to be some kind of show out there.
Hey, do the women dress up too?
I don't know. I'll shoot some video for you guys.
You going to take a camera?
Yeah, just use the old...
Use the phone?
The phone, yeah.
I'm going to wait until after the new year.
I probably won't even get to a theater, so I'll see it on DVD probably. Although I feel like
It'll be in the theater till like June.
True. I feel like it's one of those that you should see in the theater, though, right?
Yeah, you
With
have
the big
to.
sound
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
All right, maybe.
Dress Jaden up in a little outfit with a little robe.
Just throw a bag, put a little
Yeah.
R2D2 on
Yeah,
him.
exactly. He'll love it.
Did the lady bring you home anything from Germany? Anything good?
I got a awesome, pewter. It was pewter. That's the word.
That's a sexy silver color.
I got an awesome pewter
Buccaneers.
stein.
Oh,
Got
nice.
like 2 lions on it. Good size, like about this big. Oh,
How many beers can you fit in there? Have you tried yet?
I
Is
could
it Game
easily
of Thrones
probably
style?
fit? Yeah,
Esque?
yeah. I could fit probably 24 ounces in it.
Nice.
It's a good size.
Oh, that's
Got to bring that to the food truck.
Do some bicep curls.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. I'll do.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it out. I'd like to see it. Welcome into the bullpen for the week of December 17th, 2015. Everybody in the bullpen as usual. Evan, JP, Brandon, Dan, B. Murray Films over there on the board. Let's take a hydration check, everybody, before we jump into our top stories. Brandon, as usual, we will start with you. I believe it's a 21st Amendment Day.
It is. And Evan's drinking with us today.
Yay!
So we're both doing the Hell or High Watermelon from 21st Amendment. Solid beer.
Yeah, this is a beer I actually introduced Brandon to when he came out here to visit. He was still living in Arizona. Came up to California for the U.S. Open at Olympic Club 2012 with his dad for Father's Day weekend. And
Yep. Took me and the brother and pops and
to their restaurant in San Francisco on 3rd Ave up from the ballpark. And
fell in love a little bit that night.
yeah,
With the Hell or High
Hell or
Watermelon.
High Watermelon.
best time and have it in the summer with a slice of watermelon in the beer.
Right. It's
So-
still pretty decent.
Not on
in
a
the middle.
cold winter day
It's
here in
still pretty
Northern
decent
California.
in a tiny studio in December, but yes.
Cool. JP, what you got?
Metro Mint. Now this week, I did my due diligence on the internet, and I Googled the address. So if you, ladies and gentlemen, are unable to meet me halfway with the sponsorship, I will gladly come to you and knock at that door, and I'll demand the sponsorship myself in person.
I feel like
The word is out.
I feel like they might slap a restraining order on me now. Like,
No way.
Despite, I mean, that would require them to have to listen to this, but
And that's the thing, because once this takes off even further, then you're going to come crawling asking me, are you going to sponsor me? And then I'll have to
Right.
decline you
we'll
publicly.
have to tell them
and
where
that'll be
we
sad.
are.
So I'm actually trying to meet you before the rest of the world meets us. So let's make the right decision here.
Metro Mint, get it together. JP, you can tweet at him at JP.
Yahoo Sports.
That is correct.
Come on, man.
I also going 21st Amendment. I'm going with the Brew Free or Die IPA.
Another good one.
I've actually never had this, or maybe I have before a ball game, but I don't remember it. So I've also never. I can't remember last time I've had an IPA out of a can that tasted any good, and this one actually does. 7% alcohol by volume here. So 21st Amendment Day. Cheers, boys. Let's get things started. Just down the road from us here in Sacramento. Evan, what's the deal with Rondo?
Yeah, Rajon Rondo making a lot of headlines this past week, last couple weeks actually, because it goes back to December 3rd, 2 weeks ago today as we tape, when the Kings played the Celtics in Mexico City. Rondo was ejected from a game in which the Kings lost to the Celtics. And in the incident, he was tossed out of the game and went back towards referee Bill Kennedy and said something. What was on the tape originally in an interview Commissioner Adam Silver did with Adrian Wojnarowski, Yahoo Sports, on his new podcast, The Vertical, was that it was unclear what was apparently said on the tape, but what came through after about a week of investigating with the officials' report and then also independent investigators talking to Rondo, Bill Kennedy, and another official from that game was that Rondo dropped a homophobic slur. After about a week of investigating, Rondo was suspended last Friday, the 11th, and then news came out on Monday that Bill Kennedy decided to come out and reveal that he is gay. What has been unclear about this is whether Rondo knew he was gay, thought he was gay, simply said the slur. But it's something that's kind of taken the NBA by storm, obviously. And part of that podcast that was actually really interesting in my mind with Woj and Adam Silver was Silver saying that Kennedy came to him on the Sunday after the suspension was announced and said he decided to come out. Unclear if it was really because of this incident. I think you'd have to assume that fueled it. But really kind of a hot point. And what's the question off of it? Adam Silver said the one-game suspension was only one game because he didn't want to out Bill Kennedy because Silver.
If it had been longer,
people would ask questions.
Previous incidents, Kobe had been fined for saying
F-word,
the same word. Joakim Noah had been fined. Silver was worried that if he went 2, 3, 4 games longer, people were going to go, well, why is this such a more significant penalty than what the guys previously had? So that answered the question of why it was one game, because that was originally the talk over the weekend. But curious what your guys' thoughts kind of are on the whole situation.
I was just confused because when he first got the second tech, he got the second tech for staring. There were no words spoken. And then when he came back, he, was cursing him out, which, in fact is wrong, and I'm not going to argue that. But the first report was he was thrown out of the game for calling him gay slurs, but that actually is incorrect because we watched him get thrown out. He didn't open his mouth. They had a staring contest and he gave him a technical.
Right, he'd been ejected, left, and then came back
correct,
towards Kennedy.
Yeah, but the first report was that he called him the slur, and that's why he was thrown out of the game, and that's why people were up in arms. So I don't know at what point he said it. I guess it's on the way back. I mean, he's wrong for saying it.
Yeah, it kind of opens up some other people's argument after the news of the one-game suspension was, well, he gets suspended one game for saying a gay slur. Donald Sterling loses his franchise for saying a racist slur.
Is one worse than the other? Is that the question?
I feel like Donald Sterling did a lot more before that.
Yeah,
and that was the nail
true.
in his
That's
coffin.
true. Yeah.
He had too many chances to rectify a lot of bad stuff.
It's like the Sark situation. He lost a lot of games, but
right.
the alcoholism was the push over the edge.
To sum it all up, I think both are equally disgusting. Both deserve some serious punishment from the NBA, and I think this does send a message.
I think it probably happens more often than is reported. I think that
I would
stuff
agree with that,
is said in sports. I'm shocked that that he got suspended because I think this kind of stuff happens in every sport way too often, probably. But yeah, when it happens to a referee who later comes out as being gay, it becomes a bigger story. But I'm shocked that this is even remotely. I mean, it's news because the referee came out. But if he didn't decide to come out as gay, I think it would have just been pushed under the rug because this happens way too often in sports.
Yeah, and Rondo's really lack of apology in his first statement following the news.
Yeah, second one.
Followed by a then second statement, which was more of an apology,
Staged
but
apologies
still.
are just garbage.
Yeah, if you don't mean it, you might as well just not say it.
just
Whether
don't.
people,
Yeah, it's a
whether
PR.
people like you
I'd
or
rather
not,
you
just
not.
don't say
I'd rather
it.
you
Yeah.
not apologize than
It's
give me
pointless.
the staged apology on Twitter or whatever.
Or if it's a statement, because you didn't say that. Anybody can have Twitter fingers.
Agreed.
you
So
can have somebody tweeting for you.
anyway, hopefully more positive comes out of this in terms of other players keeping their mouth shut so they're going to say or have those kind of thoughts.
Shout out to the NBA for being excellent at not having the floor mics on like the NFL, because during league games you hear a lot of off-color stuff that you shouldn't hear on national TV, and the NBA seldomly happens, but not like it does in football. So they're good at not letting you hear what's actually said on the court.
Somebody who's probably, doesn't seem to be too sorry about what he said this week. Gilbert Arenas. JP, you want to wrap this one up for us?
Gilbert Arenas is at the house with too much money.
Yeah.
And also a time on his hands. Shout out to his to his agent, who got him the sexiest amnesty contract in sports next to Bobby Bonilla. But he's at the house, and Tamara D and her homegirl, Melody Ray, were having a photo shoot. A little risque. I mean, they're clothed. They're in, like, you know, regular photo shoot attire. And he goes on a rant about how the WNBA doesn't have the proper image to his liking. I'm paraphrasing, because Agent Zero was pretty crude in his remarks. But the gist of it was all other female sports have better attire, which then draws male viewers, which then drives money, advertising dollars, etc. And the WNBA does not. And they're not as feminine as the other sports in dress code, and that's kind of why they're faltering on the capital side.
Right.
This is a bad paraphrase. I'm not going to read what Gilbert said, though, but it's funny. But women wouldn't think it was funny. But he's right.
I think
Well, okay. I think, can we all agree that he probably didn't say it the right way on that in that Instagram post?
I can definitely, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that.
He shouldn't be saying any.
The message being sent, and JP, this is, I think, what you're hitting on, is the message being sent is that women's sports, you have to play to build your audience, and they're not doing it with their game.
No.
So,
but
is that kind of where you're going with this?
The way he worded it too is that he's also suggesting that basically you're not there to watch them play basketball. You're there to watch them.
And I think he's wrong on that.
Well,
'cause I think there's plenty of people that actually go and enjoy watching them play basketball.
There are some people who go to watch because someone's good looking. There are female fans who go to watch men play sports because they look good. The fact is the product is being put out for the product, for the sport, for basketball. It's not being put out to have attractive people running around.
See, I agree and I disagree.
That's why they have the lingerie football league,
right?
And
for people who want to watch that kind of stuff.
He references that in the comment section. So if you go to the C section, he's debating with like a few feminists, and they're bringing up good points. One young lady specifically debated him well on the counterpoint of the money.
Right.
And yes, you don't have to be misogynistic. You don't need to be chauvinistic, but you have a product. And if you want this product to succeed and maximize your earning potential, the men don't need to look like. The women don't need to look like men. And if you watch a WNBA game, a lot of the women are dressed not like boys, but the jerseys are so big and baggy. And then he referenced name 10 sports that women play. So then she named 5. And then they asked about the earning potential of the 5 sports and who had the lowest. Tennis, MMA, track and field, volleyball are all thriving in Olympic sports, but basketball had the lowest revenue. And then he talked about the WNBA games, how there's nobody there, but you can go to a college volleyball game or professional volleyball game, beach volleyball, and it's packed. It's all over ESPN and they get high ratings. So his second point on the second post later was, if you curtail the jersey to maybe be something more feminine, maybe more people will watch. And then you would have better viewership, better dollars, more advertising. And another point on there was name 5 WNBA players. And nobody could name more than Skylar Diggins, who, of course, is probably the most attractive WNBA player. But this year, she came off the bench. So when we're talking about the skill set side, she's not the premier person being pushed by the league because she might not even be the best player on her team. So there's two sides.
This is not a new problem for the WNBA.
No,
this has been a problem. Revenue has been a problem of theirs for a long time, and people have said that the NBA is, keeping them afloat and all that kind of stuff. And who knows if that's true or not? But yeah, this is not something new. That it's just you have a idiot in Gilbert Arenas, chiming in. The only way he knows how with
I wouldn't call him an idiot, because one of the young ladies in the video agreed. She said, Melody Ray said, "I'm all about empowering women, and if wearing sexy attire helps to promote the game, I'll allow it."
She's also then doing the photo shoot she's doing. She's wearing a thong, and I don't think they're going to come out wearing thongs in the WNBA. I don't think that's really the answer.
They're underwear. She's a hooper. She went to UC. She went to Tennessee Martin.
Right, but that's not athletic. That's not athletic clothing. One.
No.
And two,
I don't think this photo shoot's going to help the WNBA.
No, that's not the kind of product they're trying to put out either way. I mean, there's the reason why someone created a lingerie football league, because that's a product they're trying to put out is girls in skimpy clothing. They're not going to put out a lingerie basketball association. You know what? If someone wants to do that and that's what they want to do is have female athletes running around
Gilbert
lingerie,
should be the
go for
commissioner
it.
of the.
How about not lingerie? What about maybe smaller, still fully clothed uniforms?
Volleyball-esque clothes.
They didn't have to wear volleyball. Like they're wearing shorts the size of Jordan shorts. They're 2X on a 5'2" point guard.
Why does that matter?
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I just want them to maximize earning potential because, America's not a country. It's a business. And if they want to make money.
I mean, the women in the WNBA, they do not make a lot of money.
No.
And a lot of them play overseas in the off season because they get paid more overseas than they do here. So, I mean, yes, the WNBA does need to try ways to maximize their earning potential. I'm not saying they.
I think we can all
have to
agree
go
this is not the way to do it.
No,
Not the way they're going to do it.
Right. Well, it's not the way they're going to do it. Yeah, that's definitely the case. But they do need to find ways to maximize it because the women do need to be paid more than they are. Because if you're getting paid more overseas, like that's ridiculous.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
But what the essential part of this is he's just saying more people would go to games if they wore something a little bit more feminine. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right.
And do you disagree or agree with that?
I don't disagree with that because in the world that we live in, that's the sad truth.
Exactly right. Ice girls in the NHL.
Yep.
Cheerleaders in the NFL.
The MMA,
people go to see that.
The ring girls in the MMA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not agreeing with the way he said it, but I do have to say that if you want to increase revenue, that could work. Is WNBA going to do that? No, they're not going to do that.
If he had eloquence,
it's about the
came
basketball.
across better.
Would you have the same opinion if you were a woman and you were talking about a bunch of men playing basketball in Speedos?
If it was going to increase revenue for the league, I would say if you think more women would go to games because of that, and that's what your whatever you want to call it.
I think it's different because
But that's what people want.
Women are beautiful creatures. Men body in
That's
Speedos.
true.
That's scary. I think you would lose.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Evan.
I know, but
But it goes. Brandon said it. It's the world that we live in, right?
Yeah.
And popular sports. Unfortunately, the women's game takes a back seat.
Yeah, we could go on for the rest of the
Right.
podcast talking about this. I think we can all agree Gilbert could have handled that a hell of a lot better.
Gilbert, work on the approach next time.
his approach game not strong.
Yeah, it's not really popping, but we feel you halfway.
All right, well, it's never a good time to transition to politics, so let's get out of that and head over to politics. Evan, what's up with Trump and Tom Terrific?
I was saying before that we did the podcast, man, for holiday season, this is some serious stuff we're going through this week. But
Season's greetings.
It's good stuff. It's good discussion, guys. The big story this week actually goes back to something that happened in September where Tom Brady, a hat was seen in his locker at the Patriots team facility. It was one of the Donald Trump's Make America Great Again, which we've seen, and some have called it a trucker hat, whatever you want to call it. It's a hat with a slogan that Trump has been promoting during his campaign for president. But what came out this week was the New York Daily News put out a tabloid cover after Brady did an interview in Boston saying he didn't want to knock down Trump's campaign. He said, hey, he's a friend and I support him. The New York Daily News came out with a cover that said, Brady has no balls, which, of course, is going off of the Deflategate.
All of it.
Talk from earlier this year and all that. Here's my take on Brady and how he handled this. It's in a private locker room in the sense of the team thinks it's a private place, right? But the fact is the media comes through and is going to see where he puts his stuff. He put this hat in a place right there where the reporters come to, cameras come to, you can see. They're going to ask a question about this hat if it's out there. Why keep it out there? Why put it out there? I mean, it's months ago now, obviously, but then now should he be criticized now for not either standing up against Trump or just coming out saying, yeah, I support Donald, I like what he thinks, deal with it?
He needs to be held accountable, man. I don't like two arguments. I read the Wetzel article, and then in the article, paraphrasing again, he kind of went the angle of like, he's just a football player, so let him play football. Well, that kind of demeans him like he's dumb and he's not able to hold his own in a political forum or just answering a question for him. And I feel like this goes beyond politics because he said, I support all my friends, and then didn't want to answer the Trump questions, after they kept going. I'm like, all right, well, Aaron Hernandez is your friend, so does that mean you support an alleged murderer? I mean, it's the same premise. It's the same principle. Like, is that the case? And in the locker room, where it's at in his locker, I'm not thinking that Tom Brady's not dumb. Like, you knew it was there. It was facing out. It was playing front and center. If you frame up your shot from any angle around his locker, you see the hat.
Well,
this had to be purposeful.
I mean, yeah. There's a chance that the campaign may have that there, and he may be getting a monetary benefit for having it there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really.
But if he says he supports his friends, and he's admitted to playing golf with him, and he's he knows him, the question is why is it if he supports him for president? Why is that a problem? We can all support whoever we want.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're the NFL quarterback. You have a humongous platform.
True.
And like whether you're okay with being popular or not, like fame comes with responsibility. And he has to be held accountable for that, whether this is his deal, whether he feels like he should or shouldn't. I mean, you're supporting a xenophobe. Your friend is a known blatant racist. Why would you want a friend like that? And if somebody asks you a question about it, I feel like you should answer it truthfully.
And that's part of the thing with Brady is that he doesn't. He talks about it and kind of answers the questions, but doesn't really make a statement on it. And he's kind of letting this fester and float around because he doesn't just kind of come out and say, hey, listen, he's a friend of mine. It's a hat he gave to me. It's in my locker. I'm not going to answer more questions about it. He doesn't shut it
Put it to
down.
bed.
He
Yeah.
kind of lets it
He
float.
continues to beat around the bush. Well, why doesn't he just come out? He could even spin this a devil's advocate, and he could spin this the other way and be like, oh, I don't agree with everything that Donald does, but he's still my friend. Okay, we move on. Like, you didn't even say that. Like, no one asked you about Islamophobia. They didn't ask you about Muslims. They didn't ask you about the Mexican comments or how he said, people are killing and raping people coming from south of the border. Like, none of that was asked. They just asked you, why would you support someone like Donald Trump? And like, why is your hat there? And he still has yet to come out and give a clear, concise answer as to why it was front and center.
He can get all uppity about, he can be opinionated, as we saw with the Deflategate stuff. He didn't beat around the bush with that stuff. He came right out when people were, complaining about the fact that he used deflated balls. He had plenty of opinions to say.
He copped the attitude.
Right, exactly, and thought that it was like him, everybody against him. And now here he is, supporting this guy allegedly, however you want to take it, and he doesn't have anything to say about it. Come on, Tom. Like we're not stupid, and you're not stupid. Like let's quit playing the song and dance, and spare me the the hats just there. Like he doesn't know what he's like. Athletes wear hats a lot in the locker rooms to show, to support their brand, to sell stuff.
Guy wears a TB12 hat all the time.
Right, exactly. Like Patrick Peterson this week is wearing a PP LSU color hat, when he's talking to the media. Like, that's smart. That's cool.
That's marketing.
Like, he's marketing. Like, but Tom Brady not doing a very good job of marketing if
that's his goal.
If that's the guy you're supporting, and it's probably going to have some backlash. I mean, it might help Trump, but it's certainly not going to help Brady.
I don't know, Wetzel, but I'm disappointed that you also have a humongous platform and you wouldn't call him out on that. Just like Velasquez surmised, you got butthurt when they were asking you about those deflated footballs, you smashing your cell phone, and this, that, and the 15th. But when they asked you about the hat that's sitting in your locker, oh, he's just a football player, and, just let him play football.
Well, I think Dan's point of the article was not to, because if it is Tom's opinion that he supports Trump because of his beliefs, then that, what? A lot of people don't agree with it, but he has the right to support Trump in that aspect. I think Dan's point of the column was more the fact that about the argument of why are we looking at a football player for a political statement?
Yeah.
Well,
Wow,
then
yeah.
why do you have that hat there?
Because it's a friend and maybe supports
He
him.
made the first political statement by putting the cap in the locker.
Yeah, that is a political statement.
Like, he made the first
Yeah.
move, and now everybody else is counter moving, counterattacking.
I'm
He's not
making
saying
a
anything.
political statement with this hat.
Right? You're a
Very-
Twins
very
fan.
strong statement.
I'm a Twins fan.
Well, but we talked about this a little bit earlier, is that Tom Brady is a social figure, and the general public looks to social figures for their agreements or disagreements with political figures. You look at actors, singers, who they support in a presidential race is important to people. So that's why we're talking about it, because Tom Brady is probably the most well-known quarterback in the NFL right now, based on the fact of he's got the championships, right?
Well, and again, that's another thing we can go into and spend the rest of the podcast on, because in my opinion, why do people look to athletes and musicians
I
for their
agree.
political
No,
beliefs?
I agree with
Use
you
what's
completely.
in between here to
Right,
figure it
exactly.
out.
And
We know
people
the
should-
country's full
but
of
some
sheep.
people But
don't.
again,
Yeah.
this is the country that we live in.
Right.
Going back to the Gilbert Arenas thing, it's a sad de-escalation of intelligence within this entire country. Based on not thinking before we say things and relying on other people to tell us who we should vote for. Make a decision,
yeah.
people.
Yeah, people
do
are
it
sheep.
yourself.
Don't look to Tom.
Yeah, don't look to Tom.
Well, it's another sad week for America, not only because we just talked about Donald Trump for a few minutes there, but also because
Never again, guys.
Abby Wambach plays her last game for the women's national team. Brobes, she did not go quietly.
Well, yeah, she played her last game last night. It was actually a pretty funny, like, post-game interview, and after she was done, she literally dropped the mic and walked off, which I thought was kind of cool. But earlier in the day, she was on the Bill Simmons podcast, which, quick side note, ESPN stole a bunch of her quotes from the podcast.
That's so funny.
But didn't cite him, which I thought
Shocker.
which was very funny. Another shot to the Simmons ESPN war.
Bring back Grantland.
And Simmons asked her what she would do to make U.S. soccer better, and she just candidly, said, "I would definitely fire Jurgen." Which, Landon Donovan has come out and said that, voiced his opinion that he thinks Jurgen should go, and I mean, I'm not. She's got a point. Like 4 years, we haven't seen a lot of improvement.
Well, we thought he was going to get canned when they lost the
Mexico.
Well, that's
Mexico.
what Donovan said, that he should get canned if they lost to Mexico, and they did. And
Here's
that didn't
to
happen.
Landon.
here he is. There it is.
The other thing that happened today was Jose Mourinho getting fired at Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
And the stat that I pointed out to Brandon was that he was the fourth longest tenured manager in the Premier League. And
It wasn't even 3 years.
He's been there 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't even
Jurgen's
3 years.
killing it right
So-
now. 4 years, man.
The thing about
Of
this
losing.
sport is that they change coaches and managers so frequently.
That's
and
usually with the club teams. I think with the national teams, they kind of stick with them a little bit longer.
Yeah. But I think here's the thing, too. Very quickly, I think expectations in the United States about the national soccer team have maybe gotten too high.
Or any sport. They're expected to win
for
everything.
any sport, but I think especially with U.S. soccer, it's like gradual steps.
But
like,
he was this guy that he was coaching Germany, and they won a World Cup.
Yep.
And he was supposed to kind of turn this club around, and they were 29th in the FIFA rankings when he took over. They are currently 32nd.
well,
They are worse.
but they had climbed up inside the top 12, I believe, at one point during the
They're
World Cup.
still worse 4 years later.
That German team was
behind
stacked, though.
Wales.
Well,
Wales.
German team's always stacked.
They're behind Wales,
and the US team's never
Algeria,
stacked.
both of the Irelands.
But part of
right
the-
now in the FIFA rankings.
Well, but part of the argument that Wambach was also making was in regards to the talent, and really the talent speaks more to how strong a team's going to be and how
Yeah.
it grows. And she was criticizing Klinsmann's handling of the youth national programs and how they've grown. But the really fiery thing that came out of what she said with that, too, was that
The foreigners.
she said, I also believe that he's changed and brought in a lot of these foreign guys. It's just not something I believe in wholeheartedly. I don't believe in it. And she mentioned Jermaine Jones and Fabian Johnson.
that
by
I don't have an
name.
issue with. It's the results on the field. I want to see the results. I don't have an issue with
You don't
him.
have an issue with.
No,
with
I don't have an
that.
issue with the Jermaine Jones or Fabian. I love Fabian Johnson. He's one of my favorite guys to watch on that team. Like I have no issue with that whatsoever because a lot of sports do that. We talked about it earlier today. A lot of sports do that, and you brought up the point. Who's on her team? Sidney LaRue.
Right, who was born in Canada and plays for the U.S.
Right.
national team, who's married to a guy in Dom Dwyer who's English, who's trying to make it for the U.S. national team.
Right.
Soccer is a sport, especially where this happens all the time because of dual nationalities. People are born in one place and try to play for another.
Yeah, like the Swiss squad. Where
Yeah.
Where
Well,
they get those
who is it
Africans.
that? There's
Why are
the-
they winning so much?
The brothers, one plays for Cameroon, one plays for Germany. Boateng.
Boateng.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerome Boateng, Eric Boateng.
Yeah.
You guys both should play for Cameroon. They need the help.
No,
So-
Kevin Prince Boateng. I just
Yeah.
dropped an Eric Boateng.
Yeah.
Basketball player
Former
reference.
Go Devils. We had to get one
Evan,
in
you're
there.
more entrenched in this than probably any of us, although Brandon, you were there as well. Is it time to move on from Klinsmann, in your opinion? And we'll quickly move through this, but
No,
what do you
I,
think?
I think you keep him through Russia through the deal they worked out. I think you give him the rest of the cycle. I mean, hey, we're almost in 2016, so we're only 2.5 years away from the next World Cup.
It's tough to make that call now.
Yeah.
I as much as I don't like the fact that we haven't seen the results, it's really tough to make. I think you wait until after the World Cup, and if they have a horrible showing in the World Cup, which
what if they? But what if
they still got to qualify?
What if they? Yeah,
Right,
they haven't done that yet.
If they don't qualify, then
then
he's
that's
gone.
it.
So,
Yeah. But what if they win in the knockout round and you go like?
Well, as long as you see that improvement, like as long as they get back up, if they get up there in the FIFA rankings and you see that not only are they improving, but they've got that improvement in the lower levels, they've got those young guys coming up.
The
Then
guys like Jordan Morris, Bobby Wood. I mean, there's some
Julian
young
Green.
talent. Julian Green.
What happened to Freddie
I guess
Adu?
we'll see. It'll be
he's
interesting
playing
to
in
see.
like the fourth league in Switzerland.
It'll be interesting to see how the U.S. men do in the Olympics. because
Well,
that's
they got
your
Copa
youth.
America
under
next year.
23.
Right. I mean,
And
it's the
then-
youth.
Yep.
So
and
we
then you
can
got
see how they do. And
Copa
then-
America is the older group. That's the tournament in the U.S. that will feature North America, Central America, South America.
That'll be a good test.
Opening match going to be down the streets at Levi
Right,
Stadium,
right.
by the way.
We'll do the podcast from there.
Yeah.
Sure. Does Jurgen doesn't coach that team? He won't be on the sideline for that
Yeah,
team,
he will.
right?
Copa
He will be.
America? Yeah.
Copa for the older guys, but not the
He's still
U23.
got the job.
Not
Yeah.
the U23, right?
And that means they'll probably lose.
All right. Well, this brought on kind of an interesting roster decision here.
And here's why, because she brought up the fact that he brings in these foreign guys, and I've always said, and this is one of the reasons why I've always thought that the U.S. has never been an elite soccer country, is because all of our elite athletes, they play other sports. In other countries, the top athletes are brought up to play soccer. Our top athletes, they play football,
basketball, baseball.
basketball.
Yep.
Like they don't choose soccer as their number one sport. So I thought it would be fun to put a starting 11 of the best current athletes in major pro sports that we could field.
Not him.
That would probably dominate.
okay.
Or probably be, if you gave them a couple months to practice together.
Did you put Odell Beckham Jr. at forward?
Hey,
He could start.
Just wait. All right.
All right, here we go.
In goal.
So this is the Team U.S. men's national team if they didn't play other sports starting 11.
Starting
here we
11.
Go.
Voted on by Velasquez.
Voted on by Velasquez with a little help from Doherty.
All right, here we go.
All right, in goal, Anthony Davis. Come on, he's 7 feet tall.
I get
7 feet tall.
I
He
get
can
the
move
away with the
wingspan. I
unibrow.
get the
the
wingspan. I get the wingspan.
It's tough to get one past him.
How would he get the low goals? The upper V goals, he'll block all of those, but the low ones, I
He's
feel
good
like
at steals.
Yeah,
Get some
All
low
right, all right.
passes.
Then-
Okay,
all right, okay.
next up.
So we'll start
defense.
along the back line of the defense.
Okay.
Left back Tyrann Mathieu. You got because those left backs they usually come up on offense too. A little bit of both. Right back, your boy Adam Jones. Plays
Orioles?
defense and offense.
I like that because of his length. I'm afraid that Honey Badger wouldn't get the headers.
No. The
They
left
do.
the left backs usually
Crosses.
the crosses.
Okay, that's
they
fine.
cross it in.
All right.
All right.
Good.
So center backs, we're going to go Ryan McDonough, the only hockey guy to make the list here. Solid defenseman for the Rangers. Very good, very
Good call.
underrated athlete.
I like that.
And then the other center back is Tyrann Mathieu's other boy, Patrick Peterson. I mean, try to compete for a header against that guy. All right, in the midfield, going across.
Okay.
At right wing, so he's going to be playing
speedy.
in front of Adam Jones, Odell Beckham.
Nice.
And just wait until you get the forward spots. But on the other wing is going to be Mike Trout, so he'll be taking passes from Tyrann Mathieu.
Wow.
Now
This is epic.
The midfield,
A linebacker planned.
the midfield, we got Wes Matthews. He was a soccer star in high school. Wesley Matthews so he can handle. He can do a little handle, dish it off to everybody.
All right.
The other spot, if this guy is half as good dribbling with his legs as he is dribbling with his hands, Steph Curry.
Okay.
The other midfield spot. Come on, all he's got to do is facilitate.
He's
He's
too soft for soccer.
a facilitator.
What are you talking about? Soccer players are soft.
Yeah.
That's right. All he's got to do is
not
fall
true.
down.
What happens when they play Germany and those
All right.
super buff Germans get out there? He's going to be thrown to the floor.
All right,
But
so we're gonna move the forward spot.
Okay.
The two forwards, LeBron, 6'8".
now we're talking.
Yeah.
LeBron's 6'8". The other forward spot, Julio Jones. Nobody goes up and get the ball.
See,
Yo!
so now this U.S. team just has to worry about stopping goals because they'll score a ton. They might be offsides
You know
a lot.
what?
They
That's
might,
fine.
They might
That's
fall to
fine.
the offside
We'll
trap
win,
every
we'll
time.
win games 7-5.
I think as long as they
That's
win.
okay.
That would get Americans excited about
There you
soccer.
go.
7-5 games all the time.
Okay,
Beautiful.
but the last question:
Yeah.
who's the coach?
Ooh.
Pop.
Jurgen
Pop.
Klinsmann.
Pop. I'm giving it to Pop.
Yeah, it's the pop.
Wow, Could you imagine Pop doing soccer?
Oh man.
Do it. That was a little fun.
Wow, that's good
Decided to have a
stuff,
little
man.
fun.
Great call.
Little
Great
fun.
call
He'd
on
be
that.
at midfield on every yellow card.
All right. Well, you mentioned Mourinho real quick. Anybody care or know where you think he's going to land?
Man U.
You think?
Man U.
LVG gone?
One of our
Van Gaal out?
former colleagues for the World Cup, Ryan Bailey, is very much. He's gonna either that or who was it? Somebody said
was that?
MLS today.
Yeah, he apparently has said that he wants to coach the United States because he wants his kids to go to college.
Yeah, the Chicago Fire.
And Frank O'Connor,
Okay.
our brilliant English engineer, suggested Miami because the new club that David Beckham is going to partly own.
Okay.
Could you
Needs a
imagine
manager.
Mourinho and Beckham in Miami?
No, I just thought of something. Would you right now trade Jurgen for Jose? Right now.
No.
Only if we got that Odell Beckham LeBron. All-star.
Yeah, if we got that. Okay, if Mourinho's coaching that all-star athlete team,
Yeah, he can come.
Sure, yeah, he can.
He could fully show up.
But not
At this moment.
At this moment, I mean, you saw like there's so much talent on the Chelsea team, and he couldn't get it done. So I don't think he could turn this U.S. team around.
All right, well, MLS, that'd at least be entertaining.
Yeah.
You can see more of the games. It'd be at normal times of day. All right, let's try something new here. We're going to call this the 2-minute drill. We've got 3 stories we want to get to, so we'll keep it brief, and we'll get you guys' opinion on these stories. 2 minutes. We'll start the clock right now. Okay, first story. USA Today reported that Dwight Howard says he wants to leave the Rockets. He denies that. Do you think Dwight Howard should leave the Rockets? Go.
Go. Just go. Nobody cares.
You're letting your first seconds get away, JP. I'm gonna take that
Nobody cares
no.
what you do, Dwight Howard. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Hey, why don't you go father your children?
Hey, he's making.
I think we're done with the 2 minutes.
That's it. Time's up.
He's got $23 million sitting on the table. You would think no one else would give him that much the way he's been playing lately, but knowing the NBA, somebody's going to give him.
Somebody's
going
to give it to him.
If Kwame Brown can get cashed out, anybody can.
The Sixers will take him. They need a forward, right?
#, trust the process.
All right, Ray Rice says he's not ready to give up on his NFL career. Should an NFL team give him a chance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he
he's a running back.
I'm surprised he didn't actually get picked up this year.
With as many
all the
running
injuries,
back injuries as we've had, I'm surprised. Yeah, I can't believe he didn't get a
What do you think,
phone
Ev?
call.
I applaud him for sticking with his dream, wanting to be back in the NFL.
Should the NFL allow him back?
Yeah, Sean John's on his 8th team.
I think.
Greg Hardy is still playing in the NFL.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, should he be though? No.
Reinstate Justin Blackman also and Kush Gordon because marijuana is not a bad thing.
I would say those 2 guys should be in the league before Greg Hardy and Ray Rice any day.
Oh, I agree with that.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll agree with that statement.
Okay, 35 seconds left. Eli Manning, in an interview, they are playing the Panthers this week, says he's working on his touchdown dance, has been for 12 years, and when it's ready, he'll put it out there. Is there anything worse than seeing Eli, think about it, seeing Eli Manning do a touchdown dance?
I can name some
20
stuff,
seconds.
but it's not podcast appropriate. but there are fully worse things than
seeing the new Ghostbusters movie.
That could be worse.
People are talking about like that. Just don't remake a classic. Stop.
Some of the white elephant
Stop.
gifts are worse than this.
Yeah.
Eli looks aloof anyway. I can't imagine him trying to do a touchdown dance.
Bad enough in those DirecTV commercials.
Yeah.
All right, buzzer. That was the 2-minute drill. Maybe we'll try it again. All right.
2 minutes and 1 second.
That's right. 2 minutes and 1 second. Brandon, we haven't really talked much fantasy football on here. Let's check in on fantasy football. You have a
Why not?
topic of discussion for us today.
And it's a funny thing. It's something that I get a kick out of every Sunday. You know, I'm sitting there watching the Sunday night game and I'm scrolling through Twitter, and it's always the idiots on Twitter that are hitting up our colleague Brad Evans on how badly he screwed up their team because he gave them bad advice and all this kind of stuff. And I find it comical that this is a fantasy football team. You are supposed to be the GM of it. It's your job to make the decisions, yet you get mad when you ask advice and it doesn't go your way.
Yeah.
Like it's your own damn fault for hitting that little button and clicking the player out. Like, yet, and kudos to Brad, who just, constantly, he throws the hate on himself and he showers in it basically. But it's one of my favorite Sunday evening activities. We have these guys at our disposal here. We don't ask him that often.
Oh, I do.
I'm about to say, yeah, Dan asks every
Every
3
week.
days.
And you know
Yeah.
what? Actually, Funston put me in my place this week. He said, hey, it's the playoffs. It's your team. Make the call.
See, good. See, Funston.
But I don't
gets
ever
it.
give him crap when they're
Right,
wrong.
exactly.
I don't
You can't
care.
do that. You can't say, "Hey, man, can I have $1?" and then you go buy something with that dollar and you don't like it. He gave you that dollar.
It's like going to
it's
a
your own
restaurant.
damn fault.
It's like going to a restaurant and asking the waiter for a recommendation on what's the best dish, and then it's something that you order and you don't like it.
Yeah.
And then you complain about it.
Don't ask.
I know people like that.
Those people are sick.
Isn't it called like an ask hole?
An asshole.
I always find it funny that the people who are tweeting Teflon Evans, I call him Teflon, look like those who live in the Donald Trump support C-section. Like they're always
Whoa.
the lowest of the low in the intelligence level. The grammar's always terrible. You wonder how they got the internet or how they can afford to keep the internet on.
It's most of the people who complain to people and bitch to people
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Yeah,
It's
like if
terrible
you go
grammar.
on their Twitter feed,
it's just
like
the
they don't
whole
have any
timeline.
original
Yeah,
idea
it's just
tweet. It's just they
nonsense.
just are constantly hating on people.
All right, so the message here is from Brobes to all of you out there.
Make
if you
your
ask
own
for
damn
advice,
decisions.
and if you ask for advice, take it and deal with it.
Should have them do 30 fearless forecasts.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or you could do 120 and we could see how you fare on the internet, but you will probably like that because it'd be the most popularity and attention you've ever been shown in your entire existence.
I want you to forecast.
It's always easier until you have to do it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Real quick, anybody? What's our playoff outlook here, guys? Who's in the postseason?
3 semifinals.
Nice.
3 leagues, 3 semis.
Nice. Ev?
4
4 out of how many?
out of 5.
Man, good for you.
We're just killing
JP?
it over here.
I'm pretty salty because Andy Dalton decided to pull a
thumb ligament.
a lower extremity muscle and not finish the football game after he shaved a few points throwing a shovel pass directly to a defensive lineman. So I lost. Thanks for nothing, Andy Dalton. After that, I attempted to cut my entire team. But for some reason, the Yahoo roster will not allow you to cut everyone. They make you keep enough players that you have to field.
Because you still got to play in the losers bracket.
Yeah, but that's pointless because I won that last year on a 6-game winning streak. So what? I've been there. I've done that. Okay.
Got the T-shirt.
Okay.
Better you do that.
That's great.
And actually say, screw it, I'm not doing it anymore, than the jerk who goes out, is in last place, but is in the consolation bracket and decides, I'm going to pick up Denard Robinson, Tim Hightower, and all these dudes in Week 15.
That's the
My
thing.
one-
I'm in a money league,
Yeah.
and in that league, if you don't make the playoffs, you are not allowed to pick up.
the way it should be.
Right, you're not allowed to make, and then if you lose in the first round, you can't make so this coming in this week, 4 teams, only those 4 teams were allowed to make moves.
I agree.
and that's the way it should be. Like you shouldn't be allowed to mess with other people's rosters. And if Tom Brady wants to make America great again, he can throw 5 touchdown passes this weekend. Help me win some damn money.
Oh man, I'm in a.
That's how he can do it.
Nah, man, nobody's rooting for you, Tom Brady. Andy Dalton, I was on.
I'm only rooting for you in the fictitious sense.
Well, you were only in the postseason because of a technicality, so we'll just
Yeah.
leave that right
Which
there.
I won fair and square.
Don't
I
worry,
won fair and
JP. I'm going to
square.
take out Craig this week. It's all good. I got your back.
I was on a crash course where talent meets timing, okay? And somebody decided to undermine me and take that away. I don't appreciate it.
Andy Dalton. Well, Evan, I'm in a cash league that had a guy who's in the consolation bracket pick up exactly who you said, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Of course, then I picked up Dejuan. How do you say it?
Dejuan, and then he got
Dejuan
cut.
Harris on Sunday, right on time, only for him to be dropped on Tuesday for said Bryce Brown.
Your cousin.
That's right, my cousin. Anyway,
Juan.
But
If you-
but the backside of that story is I tried to cut my whole team so somebody else could pick them up, and I made the mistake of cutting them too late. So everybody has to wait until next week to get Allen Robinson and the rest of those sexy fantasy guys for the chip. So someone will still thank me. I'll get the gifts, but I'm just saying now I'm playing with the Devil's Rejects for nothing.
I'm putting in my waiver claim right now.
He is actually.
if you have any fantasy football woes, feel free to contact us at the Bullpen Pod on Twitter, or
We'll
you can
forward
email
them
us.
to Brad Evans.
That's right, bullpenpodcast@gmail.com. Let's move on to this week's random shot provided by our friend Lawrence at Frisco Smooth, who wanted to ask JP, but we're going to open it up to the panel. The best sports book you've ever read. Lawrence, thanks for the question. If you do have one for us, send it in to @thebullpenpod with the hashtag AskJP. JP, let's start with you. Best sports book you've ever read.
Super dope story. So, Face came to the house one day with gifts, and he gifted me Head Slap, the Deacon Jones autobiography.
Oh.
And first and foremost, the read was amazing. I had no idea that Deacon Jones is actually the all-time leader in sacks, except for some people weren't fast enough to keep stats back when he was killing the league. So I read the book, and then I decided to, start from the front, and I looked in the inside cover, and Deacon Jones autographed it.
Nice.
So my Head Slap book is autographed by the late, great Deacon Jones.
Wow.
Arguably the greatest defensive lineman to put on a helmet and shoulder pads. So that's my greatest sports story.
Bev?
Being the golf nerd I am, Rich Beam, you may remember, won the PGA Championship 10 or 12 years ago,
I don't.
2003, I believe. Had a great book, I believe, Buds and Teas, I think it's called. But basically, it's a story about him on all the mini tours and basically how he drank himself all the time and how you make a little bit of money and have to drive to the next tournament and so forth. Kind of the behind-the-scenes inside story of all these guys on mini tours. It was pretty cool.
Did you meet him?
No, not me.
All right.
Brobes?
Don't have it signed. Never mind.
This might come as a shock to you guys, but I'm not much of a book reader.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. So where are you going?
No. I have read some, just not many. It was the book called The Game by Ken Dryden.
Okay.
The goalie for the Canadians, and it was about the 78, 79 Canadians and what it's like to be a goalie. And it was very well written, and you're like, well, goalie, a guy who gets hit in the head all the time, like, you know, how could it be that good? But this guy was an Ivy League student. Like it was a very interesting read, and it was, you know, for me, again, someone who doesn't read a lot of books, that has to go to the top of the list. I'm sure there are better ones out there.
Sure.
The Deacon Jones one sounds fantastic. I might have to go find it or borrow it from JP.
Fully read Head Slap. Like, the stories in there are great, and it's a different NFL when everybody wasn't a pansy and you could actually hit the quarterback and attempt to take him to the ground.
Glorious.
I actually don't have one, so I've decided to make my New Year's resolution to read an actual book from cover to cover for sports.
JP got you one.
But I will mention that the columnist that I really used to enjoy, that I was a sports page junkie through high school, and so the columnist that I really enjoyed was I actually don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Bud. He was in the Mercury News. His name was Bud Gracie, I believe. He used to do this Wake of the Week column on Sunday mornings in the Mercury News, and I used to look so forward to reading the Wake of the Week. So if that's sorry, Lawrence, that's not what you're looking for, but that's what I've got right now. I can't really remember the last sports book I read cover to cover.
You're tight for reading the actual newspaper. That seems so
well. I don't do that
foreign.
anymore. But I used to when they were of value. Yeah. Okay. Frisco Smooth. Thank you for our random shot this week. Real quick, I saw SI release their top sports moments of 2015, and I thought we could go through the top 10 here. If you guys want to guess some, we can. I do have them right here, and I will go from 10 to 1 after we make a few guesses. You guys want to take top 10 sports moments
JP, you going
of
first?
2015?
Did Kirkland Cousin, you like that, make honorable mention?
It actually did make honorable mention.
Did it really?
It was on the list. The video of him getting fired up, that was on the list, but it was not in the top 10.
I've done everything I could.
Yeah.
Have you got some?
I'll throw out whether it was the game or I guess the moment. I'll say Carly Lloyd's midfield goal in the World Cup final.
Yes, that is number 4 on the list.
4, okay.
They encompassed it as defeating Japan.
Yep.
Right.
Malcolm Butler.
Number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1. Malcolm Butler winning the Super Bowl essentially with a
Rousey
interception.
getting KO'd.
Rousey getting knocked out is number 8 on the list.
All right.
I should have been higher.
American Pharaoh.
American Pharaoh, number 3.
Shout out Serena for being the GOAT. Nobody cares about that horse.
Serena's got to be on the list.
She should be like number 2. She's easily the most dominant female athlete ever.
Not even
All right, I'm going a little off
She's
the
not on the
cuff here.
top 10, and she's not on my list.
Riley Curry stealing everybody's heart. No?
No, the Warriors are on here. The Warriors are on here for number 5.
Sports person of the year, but she doesn't make the top
Not
list.
for SI, no.
Do you think it makes you like
But Sports
ineligible?
Illustrated gave her sports person of the year, but didn't put her. What are y'all doing?
I believe her when she got upset. I believe that was on the list, but I don't remember what number it was.
Was Michigan State winning on that horrible punt?
On the
Was that
list,
it?
not
Was
top
it?
10.
Oh, okay.
Not showing Sports Illustrated no more love on here.
Jordan Spieth on there anywhere?
So number 10, I'll start at number 10. Dustin Johnson winning the U.S. Open for Jordan Spieth is the number 10 moment.
Him missing that
By
putt?
missing 2 putts, yeah.
Wow.
Missing those 2 putts. Number 9, the Royals win their first World Series in 30
yeah.
years. Number 8, home beating Rousey. Number 7, Ohio State winning the first college football playoff.
Yep.
The Cardale, yeah.
Number 6, the FIFA corruption scandal. Big talking point. 5 is the Warriors. 4 is U.S. women's national team. 3, American Pharaoh. Number 2, last chance guesses.
Whiskey? Wisconsin?
Nope. Although that was on there.
Wisconsin over Kentucky?
That was in the top 20.
Ending the
Number
reign.
2, what are we overlooking here?
It was
Serena still.
Jameis's fumble. Jameis's fumble against Oregon
Nope.
that created the meme sensation.
It was on the list.
Oh, Mayweather Pacquiao.
No, that was in the top 20, but it was not. Oh, because the fight was terrible.
20.
Yeah.
Number 2, Deflategate.
Oh, come on.
It's not a moment,
Okay,
though.
here's some honorable mentions that I picked out of the
make
list.
it 1-2.
Sports Illustrated is weak for that.
Here's a couple of things I pulled off the list I thought were honorable mentions. Kind of funny. Number 12 was Missouri players their stand. Yep. The bat flip in ALDS Game 5 was on the list. It was probably in the top 30.
That deserved to be on there.
Number 94 was Left Shark from the
Yes.
Super Bowl.
94.
And number 109, Usain Bolt getting tangled up with a reporter on a Segway.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So that was fun.
It's not as good as chimpanzee.
You can check out the top 115.
You've never seen that movie.
Next time we'll just make our own list, and then we should have people, because Sports Illustrated, y'all messed up.
We should.
Agreed.
You need to show the goddess Serena more love. Period.
All right, well, first and foremost, we are all fans here in the bullpen, so let's take a look at our teams coming up this weekend and throughout the college bowl season. We'll start with the NFL on Sunday and Saturday and Thursday and Monday. Lots of NFL this weekend. We'll start with the Redskins. Bills favored by 1 in the nation's capital.
Circle the wagons, JP.
Circle the wagons.
We fully perform well at home, usually. That Dallas game being the asterisk as a blemish. We'll win this one because we're going to win the division and host a playoff game.
They went out by your predictions.
Yeah, we're going to go to the playoffs for some odd reason with a semi-losing record. So, let's go 23-17 Redskins, because Tyrod's still balling, so they'll keep it close.
Chicago Dub Bears traveling up to Minnesota. Robes?
I think
Vikings 5.5 point favorites.
Yeah, they need this one bad, just for psyche purposes. So I'm gonna go 27-20. They cover at home. Teddy looks good again, hopefully.
All right.
I don't sound too thrilled by that, but
The Andy Dalton-less Bengals. Sorry, JP. Traveling to Levi's to take on the Niners. Bengals still 4.5 point favorites with A.J. McCarron.
I'm going to give them a little bit of credit. I don't think they'll do as well with McCarron, obviously, doing with Dalton,
terrible.
but the Niners are still just terrible. I'll go 17-10 Bengals.
Oh, low-scoring affair.
Yep.
and I got a bold prediction. Evan's gonna find his way there and find Mrs. McCarron, and he's gonna sit next to her.
Ooh. It could happen.
Ooh.
No comment. That's all.
No comment.
I got to.
He tried to get A+ in trouble.
Yeah.
Ooh, it got hot.
She doesn't listen to the podcast, does she?
She will this week.
Oh,
No.
She'll find her
Not
way
yet.
to it.
No, yeah, she'll listen this week.
listen after the holidays.
Yeah.
She'll find the archive.
I think this is going to be A.J. McCarron's got a whole week with first team. I'm going to say he actually has a good game. I'm going to give him a big win, 35-10.
Wow.
Over the Niners.
Dan hates the Niners.
Just keep going to AJ Green.
And I should.
all I can.
All right, let's look at the bowl season, guys. Holiday Bowl, USC, Wisconsin.
Shout out the incomparable Pat Forty for showing us love, as opposed to the Cure Bowl, which he told everyone not to watch.
Thank you.
USC is going to win big because Stave, who is
How many picks?
arguably the worst quarterback I may have ever seen in college. He's got more interceptions on the season than he does touchdowns. So easily throw at least 2 in this game. SC should win big, like 37-14.
I wish that there was a prop bet for over/under on how many interceptions. Because if it was at 2.5, I'd take the over.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't even know why Stave's on scholarship. Hey, it's amazing.
No idea.
37-14 USC. You heard it here first. The Cure Bowl, San Jose State, Georgia State. Oh, boy. There'll be a lot of
My
people.
prediction: Dan's gonna be drunk.
A lot of Dan's gonna be dressed like Santa. Is what's gonna be happening at that
He's
point.
gonna be drunk.
Santa Con at the Cure Bowl?
Maybe by the fourth quarter. I'm actually gonna say State wins this one. Just because I don't know
Georgia
why.
State?
San Jose State. Yeah,
I picked your boys in Brad Evans' pool.
Evan has no chill.
they are 2-point favorites.
No chill.
It's
Look at your boy.
it's
no
one
manners.
of those, man.
I got to tell you this, Dan. I told JP this earlier. I respect you because you love a losing team more than anyone I know. And I respect that because that's really hard because this comes from an Oakland A's fan, too.
That's why we love you, Dan.
That's why I respect you.
That's all I got, man.
I mean, that's actually not true. You could root for other teams, especially in an amateur sport. NFL, MLB, like I get you only have one team. College, you can root for a lot of kids because it's college. But I mean, I'm not going to throw shade at your Spartans. It is what it is.
No, but when you have the emotional tie, you can't give that up.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to those games since I was like 7 years old, man.
You're a proud alum.
And I went there for
I hope
school, and I
they
wasn't
get it for
supposed
you.
to. But
Hope they get that dub.
yeah, it doesn't. This bowl game shouldn't. I mean, it shouldn't even matter at this point. Like I don't really care if they lose. I'm not going to be heartbroken like the year where they were 10-2 and got a crappy bowl game, or the year they were 6-6 and didn't get a bowl invitation. Like this is kind of like icing. If they win, great. If they don't,
with house
great.
money.
They got $1.3 million for the conference. That's fine.
Dan never forgets.
I'm going to say State wins like, I don't know, 27-20, something like that.
Isn't this Georgia State's first
It's
ever
their first ever bowl
FCS
game.
bowl
So
game?
that's why I think it could go the other way, but it just depends. I think, I don't know. I haven't scouted their team. I don't think anybody has.
He hasn't watched the tape yet.
No, I haven't watched the Georgia State tape. I'll get on that. All right, Cactus Bowl, Arizona State, West Virginia. Gentlemen.
You going first?
Cacti. Go for it. Enjoy your cactus.
28-23 ASU.
That's a low score.
Yeah.
That's really low.
I'm looking back at some of West Virginia's scores this year.
Yeah, but when they face good defenses, they don't score that much.
Berkovich should get 28 by halftime in this one.
No, well, and on the flip side, West Virginia's been playing better defense as of late too. So,
And they're about to lose their coach.
I'll go 35-31 ASU, which I believe was the Insight Bowl score when we beat Rutgers
yeah,
at Bank One Ballpark, which is
Yeah,
where
I met
now Chase Field, which is where that game's going to be played in Phoenix.
Isn't Holgerson in trouble of like really losing his job after the game? So I feel like he's going to have to put a ton of points on the board just because.
Yeah.
Well, you can try, but doesn't mean
Very
you're
true.
going to.
Real quick, let's touch on the Warriors. Drake, Steph, Aisha going to In-N-Out Burger.
They're going to win another 35 in a row.
What's the streak? What's our number? What are we calling right now?
Shout
I
out-
figure they just dismantled
Shout
the
out to
Suns
them
last
going
night.
to In-N-Out afterwards
Yeah, that's
and not
tight.
inviting everybody else.
That's a good point.
They went all the way to Alameda. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's a good 15-20 minute drive from the arena.
Well, they were probably trying to get as far away from the arena as
Yeah.
they could.
But
Did you see that Drake? He invested in Omni. He's getting smart, man. He's like he might be the smartest rapper. He's getting that tech money. See, the tech money that should be going to San Jose State to get some premier athletes to play on the football team. Come on, boosters, follow Drake. He's showing you the way.
I'll go 12. I'll go another 12 games.
I think 12 before they lose.
Yeah, I don't have the schedule in front of me. I'm just going to pick 12.
Well, they're going to lose on Christmas. So.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. They're playing LeBron on Christmas.
I don't give a crap.
I'm just telling you.
I'm saying 12.
I think they beat the Cavs on
Yeah.
Christmas.
No, that's a revenge game for
Although-
Bron and them.
Because J.R. Smith
think-
was talking that trash.
And
think
this
if-
is the game that he actually shows up and probably goes for 30.
wouldn't talk trash to a Warriors team that's they're ready to whoop the Bucks on Friday. That's all I know.
What if they lose again?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine that?
What if Jason Kidd has their number? He doesn't want anybody to go to the strip club anymore, so now they're locked in and ready. Jason Kidd hating on the Boom Boom Room. I'm sure he went a lot when he was at Cal. And he
Evan's
was out
actually
here.
looking at the schedule right now, trying to figure out when they're.
I say they win another 15
Wow.
because then they go to Cleveland on January 18th.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Hashtag quick math.
And I'm going to be way wrong, maybe. But if I am, who cares? But I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying MLK Day, TNT. That's when it goes down.
If I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right, well, Warriors start another streak. We'll see how they do. Gentlemen, any final thoughts as we wrap up this edition of the Bullpen?
Happy New Year, everybody, and happy holidays. and
Man,
all
where
that.
did this year go?
Happy Kwanzaa. That's
Yeah.
upcoming.
That's why I said holidays.
Yep.
Encompass them all.
Hanukkah, Boxing Day, Yom Kippur. National.
That's it.
National JP Day is soon as well.
When is that?
January 6th. You can send your gifts early. Okay, just make
If
sure
you need
they
the
get
mailing
there by
address,
the
email
6th.
us.
Yeah, I'm going to do that personal because, the political connect.
Yeah. All right, well, from all of us to all of you, what's up? Real quick.
Hey, Francis Underwood, FU 2016 is finally coming back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where's Claire?
We got plenty of time to build up to the next season of House of Cards, which debuts in March on Netflix. So we'll definitely talk about that, as well as a lot more in 2016 as the Bullpen rolls on. Thanks for checking us out this year. And if you can, go to iTunes. If you listen to us on iTunes, give us a review. Rate us on iTunes. It always helps.
5 stars.
Grow more listeners. And you can always contact us at the Bullpen Pod on Twitter and bullpenpodcast@gmail.com. Gentlemen,
Everybody
happy
tweet
holidays.
Metromit.
Yeah, tweet
Everyone.
Metromit as well. Cheers to you. Thanks for tuning into the Bullpen.